Now on Denver 7 News at 7 a.m. on Local 3, a new normal a year after the tragic King Soopers shooting. How community members in Boulder are reflecting as the Table Mesa store prepares to reopen.
Millions of dollars are going to Denver's homeless crisis. Why some wonder if the safe outdoor spaces are working.
And a one-of-a-kind piece of art illuminating a dark time. We'll introduce you to the Colorado nurse who was behind this creation.
Adding a little positivity to the pandemic. Good Tuesday morning to you. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Thanks for joining us. Meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo is here taking a look at the forecast. Another nice day ahead, Lisa.
It was gorgeous yesterday, really nice and warm. And this morning the winds are picking up a bit out of the west. It's making for a really mild morning. I mean, we're seeing temperatures in the 40s on the west side of town, but wind speeds have been blowing some of that snow around over the high mountain passes. A recent gust of 51 miles per hour over Wilkerson Pass, Bertha Pass in Netherland, right around 40 miles per hour. So a little bit gustier up and through the northern Front Range mountains, but look at the temperature change because of it. Compared to yesterday, about 15 to near 20 degrees warmer from Denver north to Fort Collins, and Greeley even warmer this morning. 43, you can see we've got clear skies. We had a little cloud cover this morning that has cleared out, so it's going to be a bright drive, and highs are once again going to be right around 50. Very mild today. We're tracking a chance for a little light snow tomorrow. I'll show you where we could see that, Jason, coming up in just a few minutes.
And I will show you also some problems with the blowing snow and the conditions up there in the mountains in just a second. I want to start with this crash that we have up on the north side of town, northbound I-25, right after 84th Avenue. Take a look from the camera up there, and you can see the right side is still blocked. So you have the center lane, the left lane open, the express lane is open, but with that right lane closed, we have some extensive delays coming up from Highway 36, and the drive time at about 25 minutes out of downtown all the way up to Northwest Parkway. The southbound side also slow in there, but 270 and I-70 typical slowing for us across 225 and that south side of town. So not seeing any problems for us here, which is good news. But take a look at the foothills. We do have some blowing snow up there, and it is causing some slick conditions. You can see some of that here on I-70 as the camera's bouncing around a bit. So they're running the plows to try to make it a little bit safer for you up on I-70.
Well, today we will get our first look inside the renovated King Soopers in Boulder, where 10 people were killed in a shooting last March.
Tomorrow, the store will reopen, starting with a ceremony to honor the victims. So we're going in depth this morning with an update on where the case stands today and the efforts to prevent future tragedies like this one. I want to start with Denver 7's Veronica Acosta in Boulder this morning, hearing from people in the neighborhood around the store who just want their community gathering place back.
And hey, on the outside, the Table Mesa King Soopers, it looks completely different than it did less than a year ago, but still it means so much to so many in this community. If you all remember, less than a year ago, we heard from so many parents who said this was a community gathering spot for their kids to come after school, pick up a quick snack for themselves and other parents to greet each other during their morning, afternoon, even evening errands. So they're all thrilled to see those doors behind me open back up. Even people who work across the street from here at the local library saying the same thing.
They're excited and looking forward to King Soopers opening, because that was another place where the members of the community would go and see each other and say hello and greet each other. So I can't begin to explain how thrilled they are that we're healing, and we're healing together, and the library's here to support them with that.
And Shannon Kincaid, who you just heard from, she's the branch library manager here at George Reynolds. The library itself, it was closed when 10 people were killed at King Soopers. It reopened late last year, and since then she's been able to watch the rebuilding process day by day. She's gotten that front row seat to community members walking by, watching, waiting for their neighborhood grocery store to reopen back up.
It's just, I guess, a testament to the community of how things get shattered and they slowly rebuild and come together again.
And community members who've waited months for their neighborhood grocery store to reopen, they get that date tomorrow. There will be a ceremony held before those doors open up back again. In Boulder, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. Colorado passed 3 new laws in hopes of preventing another tragedy like the King Soopers shooting. One prevents people convicted of certain violent misdemeanors from being able to buy a gun. Another created a special agency under the state health department to make policy recommendations to reduce shootings. A third allows local governments to pass stricter gun laws than the state.
The accused shooter, meanwhile, is currently in a state hospital in Pueblo for treatment. He was found mentally incompetent to stand trial twice and has another hearing on March 15th to review his treatment. Neither prosecutors nor defense attorneys have said what his mental illness is.
We want to take a moment to remember the 10 people killed in the shooting. Denny Stong, Nevin Stanisic, Ricky Olds, Trelana Bartowek, Suzanne Fountain, Terry Leiker, Officer Eric Talley, Kevin Mahoney, Lynn Murray, and Jody Waters. We have preserved the stories that their family and friends shared with us on our website, thedenverchannel.com, and the Denver 7 Plus app, where you can read them anytime. An Arapahoe County Sheriff's deputy is expected to be okay after being run over by a car. This happened in Centennial yesterday near East Crest Hill Avenue and South St. Paul Way. Deputies were responding to a call about an unwanted person at a residence. When they arrived, the suspect is accused of running down a deputy. Other deputies chased the suspect, who crashed into a tree and was arrested.
City of Denver is pouring millions more dollars into a homeless assistance program for safe outdoor spaces. Denver 7's Christian Lopez joins us live this morning with how the program is doing, Christian, helping those living on the street transition into more stable housing.
Yeah, that's right, and the city is showing faith in this program by giving them an additional $4 million in funding. This program puts homeless Coloradans in tents and fenced up areas with Wi-Fi, portable bathrooms, and power, with the ultimate goal getting them into more stable housing like you just mentioned. It is run by Colorado Village Collaborative. It started back in December of 2020. Last year, the program helped a total of 47 people get into more stable housing. We did speak with some people who live in the Lincoln Park neighborhood, though, which is near one of the sites, and they told us that they're not opposed to the program, but they do have some concerns about where these sites are located.
To put 50 homeless people on one lot, I think there needs to be some sort of site-specific analysis that goes into determining where these sites are hosted.
There's some days I don't even come out of the house. I just feel like I'm trapped in there. Unless somebody comes out, then I'll come out.
The city is moving forward with the funding, but some people in that Lincoln Park neighborhood actually filed an appeal to have that site removed. This money, though, it is going to help the program run a total of 4 sites and help around 370 people who would otherwise be staying in tents, sidewalks, or in cars. Reporting live in Denver this morning, I'm Christian Lopez, Denver 7.
All right, thank you, Christian. Meanwhile, Aurora's City Council will vote next week on a proposed camping ban. Mayor Mike Hoffman reintroduced the legislation last night. First introduced a camping ban last summer, but it failed twice in City Council. Tomorrow, Boulder County will host a second online community meeting for victims of the Marshall Fire. Officials say they'll cover rebuilding-related topics in unincorporated Boulder County homes. The meeting is for residents, architects, builders, and design professionals. You can register for the meeting on Boulder County's Marshall Fire website. But many fire victims are finding out filing a claim is not as easy as just calling your insurance company. So tonight and Thursday, Adjusters International will host free seminars to answer some of their questions.
In the brush fire areas, the insurance company comes out and they give a certain percentage of money towards people's contents. And if you do nothing else, that's all the money you'll ever get. So you have to roll up your sleeves and write everything down and price it and present it to the insurance company. Otherwise, you could be leaving hundreds of thousands of dollars in your collection process.
Organizers say the information is good for all homeowners. You can find the classes on the website for Adjusters International by clicking on Newsroom from their website.
The Front Range is gradually thawing out this week, but to help you stay upright throughout this icy season, the Denver Zoo has some advice. Walk like a penguin, just like she showed us how to do. Denver workers' compensation company Pinnacle Assurance is the sponsor of the new South African penguin exhibit, and they invited us out to show us how we can imitate the way penguins waddle to avoid slipping on ice. Pinnacle data shows 40% of the workplace injury claims they receive are related to slipping.
Kind of put your feet kind of pointed outward a little bit, and then really when you're on snow and ice, the thing is just to shuffle slowly on that snow and ice. And it looks funny, and it is funny looking, and you're going to maybe get some weird looks, but you're not going to fall.
Yeah, the penguins were looking at us. They thought we were kind of weird out there. Worth mentioning that while penguins' body design helps them walk on those slippery surfaces, these penguins from South Africa are temperate climate penguins, so they don't really like the snow or the cold or ice any more than we do.
We have some heat trace that's built into the concrete and rockwork in the exhibit, and that helps us with melting snow and ice so the penguins can come outside.
Yeah, since we don't get the fancy heat trace like the penguins get, you can also prevent falls by wearing shoes with traction and maintain 3 points of contact, so 2 feet on the ground, 1 hand on your vehicle when you're getting out of the car.
Always so friendly, though. The
Oh yeah,
penguins
we
always want
love
to say
seeing
hi.
them.
A one-of-a-kind art piece will be on display at the Loveland Museum. It's a COVID-19 vaccine vial chandelier. It's titled Light of Appreciation. It was created by a Boulder County nurse, Laura Weiss. She received permission from Boulder County Health to keep the empty vaccine vials to create this display. It will be lit 24 hours a day starting Friday. You can see it during museum hours, of course, or from outside the window in the evening since it will be lit up.
That is incredible. Wow.
Wild to see.
Well, out of the oceans and into your phone, the materials Samsung is using in their new Earth-friendly Galaxy devices.
And the U.S. medaled in an Olympic event for the very first time. The overnight updates from Beijing coming up.